Hi, welcome to Two Non-Doctors. I'm Liz Mealy.
I'm Maria Shahada.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm all right, but I'm like dealing with like the worst like brain fog. That should have been my Google today. Like legit, like can't even, not close at all. Like reaching for words, they're nowhere near.
Oh, okay. Just basic words. I'm like, when that happens to me, I'm like, I talk for a living. How am I
No,
not getting these words? So they're not there. And
but
then
like
yeah, it
not
happens
even
to me all the time.
close. You
Yeah,
know, when you're like, oh, it's right there. No, it's
completely gone. Are
completely
you
gone.
getting enough sleep?
So I'm trying to, I mean, that should be what my Google is like if I've been sleeping for a couple of I literally have only d been on a plane for one day, 2 days, one nighter, like a week ago, 2 weeks. Like I've been off for 2 weeks and I've been sleeping. So it's like I thought I'd be better.
Yeah.
Like I've been working really hard at sleeping. Um, I don't like I clearly am, I don't think you can fix months of exhaustion and being burnt out with 2 weeks of sleep,
Yeah.
but I am a little worried.
Well, how long have you had brain fog?
So like I've had it for months, but like I was tired, so I wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm just tired. You know what I mean? Like you don't even linger on it. But I was giving a girl directions and I could not think it's Grand Army Plaza. That's where like that was the landmark that I was gonna give her. I was like, oh, you can't miss it. You'll see Grand Army Plaza. And I thought of it a minute ago, just so you know, that was 2 days ago that I gave her directions. And I was like, you'll, and I
Big
want,
military shopping mall. What?
and it's funny because I wanted to say Grand Central. So I was starting to get there, but I knew that wasn't right because that's not where the park is. But like, it's been like that where it's just like, I don't even, and it's clearly more embarrassing when it's like a stranger. I knew just what direction to send her in,
Yeah.
but like, I was like, you'll see.
Who asks for directions anymore?
I know it was wild. It was kind of exciting.
What? Use your phone.
Maybe she didn't want to do that weird thing where you look like a dog about to take a shit because you
You
don't know what direction to go
it's
in.
it's better than asking a human. But we're not talking to each other anymore, everybody. We've
Everybody
stopped
knows that. We are done conversing.
that.
It was quite thrilling. I don't know why, but like I think I genuinely like being helpful
I
and like
yeah.
and I knew I was right. I rarely am right. So it was just very but I clearly lingered on my brain for
I
2 days is like, where is
I went to New York for a week before I moved there, and somebody asked me for directions, and I was on the phone with Riley at the time, and I was just talking to her. And then just like they stopped and asked me for directions, and I just turned into a New Yorker. I was like, okay. So I was like, so what you gonna do? You're gonna get back on the the one train. You're gonna take it down to 34th Street. Get off there, and Macy's was right there. Just like Riley like died. She was like, "What was that? Who are you?" No,
all right, honey, 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 honey. You're gonna want to go left. You don't go
yeah,
left.
you don't want to go to Macy's. There's so many great stores. Go down to Soho.
Um, um, but I feel like I don't know. I'm hopefully I'll become a person at some point.
I'm sure you will. You had a full on first half of this year. Just full on.
Yeah.
And it's just you've probably, and I'm pretty sure last week when I spoke to you, you weren't resting. So I don't really buy this whole I've been getting sleep shit. So like
I'm
I
sleeping.
believe it's starting to happen, but I think you just need to give yourself a little more time. Hello, cat.
Yeah, there's Ghosty.
Yeah.
He is a
Ghost
menace.
is like, she's been a nightmare.
Yeah. Maybe him not crying at 8 a.m. would be helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
I wouldn't
don't.
worry yet. Don't go and get your assessment.
Here's my brain fog issue right there.
Yeah.
Stop touching
I
my stuff.
I went to see an allergist today.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
I know. I was really excited too, but then I found out that he was like, "Did you take antihistamines today?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Did you get the letter from the NHS?" And I was like, yeah, but I thought it was just the directions. And he was like, you're not supposed to take antihistamines for 2 days, so I can't do a skin test. And I was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. He's like, we can do a blood test, but it'll take a few days to get the results back. But basically, he was just asking me about like what my experiences with all my allergies are and like why I felt like they were really bad. And I was just like, whatever. It's like always, I'm always sneezing and stuff. But I mentioned that I was allergic to dust, which is something I was just taught as a kid. I don't really like know. Like I was just told I was allergic to dust. And he was like, so dust mites. He was like, that doesn't go away. So that's probably what it is. And unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. He was like, dust mites are everywhere. He was like, they used to suggest putting mesh on beds and so that it caught the dust mites. And then you'd have to boil your sheets every 2 weeks. He's like, but then we discovered that does absolutely nothing. So he,
Well, I'm glad because nightmare.
yeah, he was like, he was so excited to talk about it all. He was like, there's nothing we can really do. He was like, dust mite. And then he went on to explain what dust mites were. He was like, there are these little like microorganisms that like your dry skin falls off, your dead skin falls off, and they eat them. Because they didn't eat them, we'd be covered in our dead skin. Like, I was like, what? He was
Where
like, and
do,
then those dust mites eat your dead skin, and then they have this dust poop. He was like, and it's imperceptible, but then there's all this dust mite and dust poop, and that's what you're allergic to, but you can't get away from it. He was like, well, that is if you are allergic to dust, which the blood tests will find out.
so let's say you are allergic to dust mites. One, how did your parents tell you that? Like, did they ever do a blood test when you were a
I
kid?
think they must have. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was told like it was like pet dander and dust, and maybe that's it. I can't remember.
And
Oh,
then
penicillin.
penicillin's a big one.
Yeah.
Um,
I forgot
but
to mention
like,
that.
huh?
I forgot to mention to that my doctor to
Yeah,
the
yeah, you're like, yeah. Because I what is it? Because like my nephew had some crazy allergic reaction, and then my mom was like, that's important because I think if you're allergic to penicillin, there's a bunch of other stuff that you're immediately allergic to as well.
Oh,
I don't,
interesting. I
I'm
should
super
find
dumb.
out. But he was suggesting that maybe we could take like I could take tablets that would introduce the dust mite into small quantities. And then I'd put it under my tongue and let it dissolve. And I would have to do that. He's like, it's a long-term commitment because you have to do it for like a certain way for 6 months. And then after that, it's ongoing. But then, you eventually build up the immunity to the dust mites.
Well, this is the rest of your life. Like, why not?
No, I would totally do it. But he did say like the side effects are really intense for the first couple of weeks and that most people tolerate it, but some people don't. And then they stop doing it. And I was like, what about the shot? And he was like, well, the tablets kind of are the updated shot because the shot you'd have to come into the hospital every day or however many times you have to do it. But the tablets you can just do it at home. So I thought that was really cool because I didn't know. I thought it was a shot.
And what are the side effects? Like, is it just what you already have, but more intense?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just like runny nose and sneezing and everything.
So you'd just be
Hives. You
sick
could
for
break out in
three.
hives.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So you'd be really sick for like 3 weeks.
yeah.
Well, I hope it's not dust mites.
I mean, I hope it's something. He was like, of course, there's also the non-allergic rhinitis, which means you're not allergic to anything. You're just stuffy and you're just sneezy.
Oh,
I know that's what I said. It's exactly how I said it too. Cool.
you're just like, so I'm just like, one of the seven dwarves, and I just happen to be sneezy.
I feel like doctors just say this stuff to give themselves an out. It's like, well, it could be all of this. Failing that,
Or,
there's this
or,
ghost allergy situation.
or you're a freak. Have you ever thought that maybe you're a freak
Yeah.
and that modern science doesn't believe in you?
Right, right. So I'm excited to see what the tests bring back.
So is the blood test as accurate as the skin test? I know you couldn't get the skin test because you took the antihistamines.
I assume so. He made it seem like they were equivalent. It's just easier to do the skin test because it's immediate.
Yeah. And he's
So.
like, oh, that ain't it. He was like, don't do wool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that's wild. I do find that like I do love somebody getting really dorky and loving. As two non-doctors, it's really exciting to see a real doctor get all excited about his expertise.
Yeah. He's like, do you mind if I look up your nose? I was like, no.
Kind of hoping you would ask, honestly.
It's not for anything. I just want to look up your nose.
Yeah. So he didn't see anything up there, did he?
No, he's like, okay, that all looks good. Yeah.
All right. So you'll know in a couple
Well,
of
the other
days.
thing I found out was that
Ooh.
like the antihistamines I'm taking, he was like, he was like, they help with the sneezing and the watery eyes and the runny nose. He was like, but they don't help with stuffiness, which I didn't know. So he was like, what really is best for that is the nasal spray, which I stopped taking because it was making me all sensitive through my sinuses because it's got steroids in it.
Yeah, and I think long-term use like my dad used to use it all the time, and I think it hurts your sense of smell.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, I just know that long-term use has side effects. So I think if you did use it every day,
Because the doctor was like, I was like, well, I don't like, I was like, it made me all sensitive. And he was like, so when you snort it, like point it towards your ear and not up your nose. I was like, oh, I did that wrong. He was like, and don't sniff. I was like, you're not supposed to sniff. And he was like, no. I was like, what if it's coming out of your nose? He was like, well, you can do like small little sniffs, but you can't like, and I'm like, so you can't just like I've been doing. He started laughing. And he was like, no. It was almost like, I don't know. It was almost like I really screwed that up. So I've
So
learned how, if anything, I've learned
okay,
how to use a nasal spray and what
that's so
antihistamines
exciting.
are supposed to do. Yeah.
Well, this is why we see the professionals.
Yeah. Finally.
Don't you feel like the nose sprays should tell you this?
They probably do. I mean, I read the directions and it says to bend your head over and it says, I'm pretty sure one said to inhale it and then another said to not sniff it. And I don't know. Uh, but no, none of them said point it toward your ear.
Yeah.
He said bend your face over and point it toward your ear. None of them said that.
And did he say anything about long-term use of it, like using it every day or
No.
using it
He's like, you
forever?
could do it once a day and it's fine. And he was like, the Bocanades or whatever you were prescribed, he was like, you have to do that twice a day. So don't do that. Do the ones where you do it once a day.
Okay. I
Yeah.
hope you I hope you get your answers.
I suddenly just got like so self-conscious. I'm like, this is so boring.
We're two non-doctors. We talk about weird stuff.
I
What if
know.
we just taught everybody how to use nasal spray and blew everybody's mind?
That's right. Yeah. You're welcome, noses.
This is why they come to us.
Is it because I have doctors look up my nose, so you don't have to?
Yeah, that's what we bring to the table.
Yeah.
Um, did you want to oh, we should do announcements.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Thanks everybody. We appreciate you. Thank you to all our Patreon patrons. If you don't know, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/2nondoctors. You can follow us. Where can they follow us, Maria?
At Two Non-Doctors, it's the number two full word doctors on Twitter and YouTube. And at Two Non-DRS on Instagram. And follow me on Instagram at Maria Shahada.
And then I'm off. I'm off for like 5 weeks.
Great.
So I got stuff coming up, but it's not until August. So like Montreal and Toronto, which are both selling really well if you're interested. Um, Boston, other places. I'm taping my special in Brooklyn September 15th. But yeah, go watch my special, Murder Sheets, and check out my tour dates at lizmealy.com.
Nice.
I'm gonna get my brain back.
And we're going to be together again at the end of the year. Probably
Yes,
too early to announce it, but
it doesn't matter. I actually, when I shared this on YouTube, I told people we'll be together. You can see me and Maria in Baltimore in December. I forget what dates, early December, and
December
then
4th through the 7th, maybe?
something like that.
5th through the
That sounds
7th.
Yeah. So Baltimore early December, and then the week after that we'll be in Batavia, Illinois together. So those are two chances to see the dream team
Yeah.
in the United States, which people are always asking for you here.
Oh, I know. I really should like plan a longer thing with you.
We're
Or
doing
my
it. This is 2 years in a row. We're making it work. We're very excited to have a guest. We have comedian Todd Barry. You may have seen his new special, Domestic Short Hair. He is also on tour right now. Please welcome Todd Barry, everybody.
Hi, sorry for this bad posture.
No, you
She
got a
came
cat.
by right now, so I can't really.
Look how cute that cat is.
It is
It
pretty.
looks like she's owed the petting.
She loves to be on podcasts.
So we brought you on because we wanted to pick your brain about misophonia.
I don't often get to talk to people. I'm often explaining what it is to everybody. And I just wanted to talk to someone else who gets it. Because usually people are like even my brother today heard me talking about it on the podcast. He's like, just get over it. So
A
people
lot
don't
of these
get
get over it ailments are not as easy to get over as people think they are. It's like if you're ADHD, people just clean your dishes, like that is.
There, some people have different trigger noises that send them into a rage or fill them with disgust or some other extreme reaction. So for me, gum chewing and whistling are my two biggest ones. I love that so much. People, they're like can't have dinner with their family without having to wear headphones or listening to music or like crinkling of like chip wrappers, or there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
To go to movies because somebody inevitably is going to do something that makes me irate.
The worst combination I've experienced lately is the whistling barista.
Yeah.
Because coffee's already kind of putting you on edge a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of riding that line depending on how much you've had. And then the whistling, oh, fuck, it makes me infuriating.
But isn't it the modern day of like listening to music without headphones, like the old timey listening to music without headphones, like before you could listen without headphones?
Whistling and annoying me is a timeless thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So those are your two big ones. Do you have any others?
No, I got more. I got more.
I'm ready.
Almost all chewing, crunching. An issue always for me is backstage in a small dressing room and the opening act, and then they put some vegetables out or something, and they're like, you can't go for those carrots while I'm in this room. You just can't. Gum snapping is brutal. Even my cat, I hate to say, has like a frequency when she kind of yowls, and it enrages me. But it's like I don't want to be mad by something my cat does.
I don't find eating as annoying, but gum chewing I can't handle. So like,
what about lip smacking? If someone eats and they're like
awful, that
okay.
like the like sucking of the teeth or lip smacking or just,
and this drives me crazy. Like licking your fingers.
Yeah,
like, you could just fucking use your napkin and wipe that. You're not getting this burst of barbecue sauce by going.
Yeah. In Asia, they're supposed to slurp their noodles because that's a sign of compliment. Once I knew that, it bothers me less hearing someone slurp noodles because I know that they're like doing it.
Same with me. Because it's like, all right, that's the cultural thing. I can't impose my fucking freaky neuroses on them for something that's a tradition that's like 90,000 years old or whatever. Someone's singing along to music drives me fucking crazy also. It's like, your voice is not as good as Mick Jagger's, so you can shut the fuck up.
My housemate.
That's how old I am.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So what do you do to, like, you can't punch everybody chewing gum, so like how do you get through the
day?
Actually. Yeah. What's in your rider in your green room?
I mean, the thing is, I do love crunchy foods. Like I love chips, I love pop. But like at the movies, you were talking, Maria, about the movies. Like a movie theater, it can't be empty enough for me. Like, and I'm in the film industry, so I shouldn't be saying that. But I just see someone walk in with that popcorn. I'm like, oh fuck. Sarah Silverman famously has this also.
Oh wow!
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know you would have rather had her on your show, but
we immediately delete you. We're like,
she's
no.
like, oh, but we were at a table at a restaurant, and it just kind of like next to us, it was just loud, and we just kind of looked at each other. And we both, it's like this secret language, and we got up and moved. But it was just a thing where like, this is going to be a long night.
I have 2 sets of headphones I leave home with.
Really? Why is that?
Just in case one runs out of batteries.
Well, that's cuckoo.
I bet you've never seen Maria when her headphones are either dead or dying. Do you feel, other than like headphones and leaving situations, is there anything that you've been able to do to lessen the pain of it?
Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and like, I'm around, I'm in a noisy situation. There's nothing I can do about it. But usually if you go like, especially in dressing room situation, go, I'm just a little weird about eating noise. I can't listen to people eat, man. And you just take it on make it like you're the weirdo, which I guess you are. And most people are pretty cool. And also, if they're on a show with me and they're opening for me, they have to bow down to me,
Yeah.
That's true.
which means don't eat that carrot in front of me.
Yeah.
That's what bowing down means.
Anything that you want to plug, Todd?
No, just my special domestic shorter, and I have some tour dates that I'm going to keep adding to. Go to toddbarry.com if you're interested. I'm on Instagram at Todd Barry, fake Twitter at Todd Barry.
Thanks for coming on. Thank you so much for sharing all your misophonia experiences.
We'll chew some gum together sometime.
Sounds great.
Bye.
Okay. I'll do my Google first.
Sure.
I hurt my knee. It's my fault. I ignored it.
Oh no.
So, I was back. I've been home. I want to work out. That's like, I love having a schedule. We've talked about this all the time where it's just like, we're like, I'm a vagabond. I do what I want. And then you're just like, I just need a schedule. I want to get up at a certain time. I want my rituals. I want to work out. So, I did CrossFit 3 days in a row. That's fine. And then Sammy, my brother, usually meets up with me once a week and does CrossFit with me, but we couldn't work it out with his work schedule. So I was like, why don't you come Sunday and we'll go for a run? Yes.
Sorry, what you just said related to a podcast I just listened to about it was called sorry.
Talking about a better podcast on our podcast.
Yeah, it's a little better.
Are you seeing other podcasts?
It's called Hidden Brain. Making the world sparkle again. But it's like how like and we've talked about this on the podcast before about how like your first sip of coffee or your first cup of coffee of the day is like the best one. And then it just like after that, because I think I Googled like, why does that happen? So he was just talking about how like happiness diminishes as the first of something is always the most exciting and how to keep the sparkle going in your life. And an actor was talking about how like she'll be away filming, but then when she gets back, she can't wait to get back into her routine and going to the gym and stuff that she was so sick of before she left for filming and stuff that she couldn't wait to get back to after. And like keeping variety in your life is kind of how your answer to like keeping things from getting mundane. So what you just said about like how you wanted to get back into your routine at the gym and stuff is how you stay happy.
Yeah. And I mean, we all know this, like not even after 5 weeks of me being off the road, after 2 weeks of me being off the road, I'd be like, I hate this. I want to die. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I want to do things. Like just to the point where even like my boyfriend, I was like, oh, I'm trying to book up my schedule. He's like, I thought you were taking July off. And I was like, oh yeah, but I do spots in the city. He goes, that's not off. And I was like, oh, you sound like my therapist. I have to do spots. I'll lose my goddamn mind. Also, like, you really do get so rusty so quickly. One, I enjoy doing it. Two, these are 15-minute spots. Three, I can't make $0 for a month. So it's just like,
I love a 15-minute spot, by the way.
Oh yeah, dude. It's funny because I got offered a couple 7-minute spots and I was like, you want me to leave the house for 7 minutes? That is, for me, one story. Like, I can't even get into it.
Yeah.
I did some self-produced show at the comic strip, I don't know, last week. Didn't know anybody. Didn't know the producer. Didn't know the other comics. I was on first. I got there early. I'm eating sushi. And I'm just like, I went to my friend Tony Deo, very funny comic. It was his birthday and he wanted to go to Yankee Stadium and I had never gone. And I was like, I'll go for your birthday if I can get ice cream in a Yankee plastic hat. And he's like, of course. So I got ice cream with him at Yankee Stadium.
Well, inflation be bribed with ice cream to go spend somebody's birthday with them.
I was gonna go, but I was like, at some point you need to walk me to ice cream. Anyway, we're going through a heat wave. So I'm wearing like biker shorts, like I'm wearing like workout shorts and like a half a shirt, not realizing, like not putting it together because we were going to be outside for hours. I knew I had to go directly to the comic strip afterwards. I just didn't put it together until I was there. And I'm gross. I'm just like sweaty and gross all day. So I'm just like stuffing my face with sushi. I don't know anybody. I'm about to be on stage. It's like a pretty packed show. And I was like, all right, this is what it is. murdered because I had been on the road so much that I just like went in murdered. Then I was like literally like picking sesame seeds out of my teeth and I'll be like, see you guys later. And like, I mean, it was the most like grizzled vet I've ever felt. Like everybody else has like makeup on and they're all professional and
Yeah.
whatever. And I literally look like I was in a garden all day, just like soot on my face, tell some cat jokes, and then left. All that to be said. Back to the point.
Right.
So my brother wanted to go for a run. My brother is now running 8-10 miles. I was like, that will not be happening. I think I can give you 4 miles. And ran to the park, ran around. I had to stop a bunch, but I was pretty consistently running. But I haven't run in months, probably months. And if I have, it's a little bit on like my little treadmill that I have now, but like truly haven't run more than a mile. And I felt good. But like I've learned this about myself. Like I now I'm not in running shape anymore. I'm heavier, literally like I've gained weight and I've gained muscle because of CrossFit. I'm heavier. And I knew immediately the next day that my knee was unhappy. But I was like, maybe it's just sore. Maybe, I did too much. I worked out 4 days this week and I ignored it for a whole week, kept working out even though it hurt. And then it just got to the point where I couldn't even like squat. And I was like, God damn it. What did I do? Like what? And it was also weird because it's the top of my knee. So it's like when I squat, it's the top of my knee. So that's what my Google is. My Google was like, what the fuck did I do to my knee? Okay, not that one. Why does my knee hurt when I squat after running? And this is I'm gonna say it wrong. Looks like Iliotibial syndrome. Iliotibial. I've missed half the words.
Okay, that's okay.
But people call it the IT band. So if the IT band becomes inflamed, it can rub on the outer knee and cause pain, especially during movements that involve the joint, such as squatting. IT band syndrome often affects runners, people who do not stretch properly, looking at you, Liz, before exercising, also have a higher risk of sustaining that injury. So I've definitely done some, and I run like 200 meters here, 400 meters there in CrossFit. I also walk 20 minutes to my gym. Like I'm a more warmed up. I think I just overdid it. I really do. But then there's some stuff like, repetitive force from activities like repeated jumping, which we do a lot in CrossFit, often called jumper's knee. Who named that? So good. Muscle imbalances and normal age-related changes to knees can contribute to tendonitis and knee pain when squatting. I don't think it's tendonitis. I really think I overdid it. I didn't stretch. I've taken off. I'm off. Taking off. I'm off. I know everybody's like, you got to rest. And it's like, I should have, honestly, I can already feel it doing better. Like I started taking Advil. I iced. You're supposed to put your leg above your heart. I've done that. But mostly it's like walking because you don't want to be inactive, but doing nothing outside of walking. So
sorry.
I was going to say, I feel like 30% better. And I can see that by the end of the week, it'll probably be fine. But I was just mad at myself that one of my weeks of being home and being excited to work out, and I already fucking injured myself.
Yeah, it sucks. And the knee is something like that you really have to take care of because it loves to get messed up.
All the time, man. It's like it like throws itself in front of a bus. It's just like, oh my God, I can't go to the gym today. I'm crickety.
I hurt my lower back this week after a lift class, and I tried to because it did say, I looked up like what to do for that, and it did say like continue like light exercise because you don't want to do nothing because then it'll get worse. So I went to a yoga class. And I realized I've never hurt my lower back this bad before. I couldn't bend over or do downward dog. So when I tried, I just kind of had my hands on my thighs and I was bent over as if I was hungover. Like I was like in hot yoga, just like looking, this is as far as I could bend, just looking like I was trying not to vomit on the floor. But I'm fine now. It took less than a week, but
and as soon as you admit that you have to rest, like that's the thing is that like I probably a full week after it happened, I was like, nah, this isn't happening. I
Yeah.
just wouldn't admit it was happening.
Yeah.
And then it just got
Ignore it,
worse
it'll
and
go
worse.
away. And
I went
that's
to, oh, sorry.
just what my podiatrist was saying about foot pain. It's just like it's counterintuitive because you think if you keep using it, it'll get stronger and better, but no, it's just going to wear it away more. Like it's just going to get worse. So
Yeah.
it's like minimize the pain now.
Yeah. This is when I knew it was a problem. I went to this craft market. I was so excited about it.
Yeah.
And there was something, like, it's like tables or whatever. And I leaned down to go look at something. And I was like, no. I was like, no, 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 no. So now I'm just like an old lady looking at trinkets, just being like, I have to live here now. Like, it was
Can someone
I was,
craft me a cane?
oh my God, it was so painful. And I was like, fuck, dude, I did that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my Google.
Mine was is a Vitamix really necessary for smoothies? Because like I have a garbage blender. Like admittedly, it's just like a little personal one that it's good for like one smoothie at a time. And it's a pain because it's just like I'll move a blade, but I'm not gonna I don't know what you want from me, but you're gonna have to do this for an hour and a half before you get the consistency you want. And you're gonna have to keep moving things around. So like I have to undo it,
You're just
stir it.
chopping everything up
Yeah, like
with
there's
your
something I'm the
blender.
blender. I'm like mincing the blueberries and the kale. So I was gonna get a blender, but I was like, I mean, I could get one for $50 or pounds or whatever, or I could get one for 500 pounds. But what's the difference? But I remember when Vitamixes came out, everybody was like, oh, it's worth it because when you drink smoothies, the Vitamix is the only thing that like breaks it down to the point of your body being able to absorb it. Like I was told some bullshit about
Yeah.
how your body needs it to be as broken down as it is that only a Vitamix can do it.
Girl, you actually have never had a smoothie. I don't know what to tell you. Like before that, they weren't smoothies. This is
Yeah.
actually the only way to properly have a smoothie.
I know they're incredible blenders. I've worked with Vitamixes before at restaurants. You had one.
Yeah.
Like I know they're amazing, but it's like, is it worth paying 10 times as much for a blender for it to be? All I could see was people were like, it's a smoother smoothie. And that was enough for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really find any information about like your body absorbing it or anything like that. That
No,
lie
it's
I heard.
marketing, man. And it's funny.
Yeah.
So my old roommate Chris had one, and me and Carmen years ago went through like a
Oh, I
smoothie
thought that was
phase.
yours.
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
We just went through a smoothie phase, God knows what, 8 years ago or so when we were all living together. And I remember me and Carmen and Chris were all making smoothies. Carmen would like knock on my door. She's like, girl, you want a smoothie? I'm putting so much ginger in it. Like,
Yeah.
like it was like a thing. And I do remember it was easier to clean. Like it was a very much like a rinse, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, I don't know if they like waxed the blades or whatever, but like it did seem like you made it, you did like a little rinsey rinse. You didn't have to like, but I would have never spent that much.
Yeah.
The difference in the convenience isn't 5 times more.
Right. Or 10 times is what they're asking,
Yeah.
10 times more. And it's like, I'm not making an industrial amount of smoothies. I get why a restaurant would do it. You're making like a lot
Yeah.
of stuff. I'm not doing that. And uh, what was the other thing I was going to say? It's just, oh no, it's gone. Yeah.
I'm glad both of our brains are broken.
Oh yeah, mine's been a mess. I can't think of word. I was trying to think of the word residential yesterday. I was like suburban, suburbia, suburban. No.
It doesn't start with an S, but I cannot figure out the other letters.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's worth it to not get like a shitty little like individual one that you have to constantly stir and chop. But I think beyond 50,
Yeah,
it's
man.
not necessary.
Especially because I think smoothies
Oh, this
are
is what I was gonna say. Sorry, especially
no.
smoothies are what?
a phase. You never consistently do smoothies. You'll
I
come
only do
back.
them in the summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't be bothered with a smoothie. I'm hungry than that, like a smoothie, and then in the summer, I'm like, it's so hot. I just want something cold, whatever. Yeah, one of the selling points of a Vitamix was like, this isn't just a blender you buy. This is the blender you pass down through generations. And I'm just like, it's not like a car, is it? It's like, I'm not like, What kid is
I
like,
would be
Vitamix
so
blenders
upset.
have been in my family for 300 years. Like,
Somebody walks
also,
in,
I'm
they're
not
just
having
like,
kids, so who am I
yeah,
passing it on to?
just like a roommate that you're like, I can't bother to pack this. I'm sorry. This is your Vitamix. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You've inherited a Vitamix.
That's like
Uh,
all my IKEA furniture. New York has like tons of my IKEA furniture.
but yeah, like, I don't know. Like, if my parents were just like, in the will, you get the Vitamix, I'll be like, did you not love me?
Yeah.
Like,
What did I do to you?
yeah. Okay, well, I was thinking more like cash.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, the only thing that would sell it would be like the health benefits. Like you do need this consistency, but that is marketing. That was like,
Yeah.
remember when we had that discussion about toothbrushes and like dentists recommending $200 electric toothbrushes? And I was just like, do you really need a $200 toothbrush? And you were like, they're $2. They're
Dude,
$2.
I just cannot. The uppricing of our lives is insane. Where it's just like, I cannot. I
Yeah,
can't. I can't.
I
I can't.
can't. Yeah, I
If you,
remember when I grew up, when you went to the dentist, you got a free toothbrush.
yeah, that's you got your toothbrush for the year.
Yeah.
Evan went to the dentist and he like truly had like all like a goodie bag. He got like 2 full-size toothbrushes and like a full-size floss. And I was like, yo, this is real stuff, man.
That's
That's
a good dentist.
$7.
Yeah.
That's $7 that you got back. That's a real return.
That's
Hell
great.
yeah. Yeah, if my dentist wants to give me $200 toothbrush after I'm there, yeah, I'll do it. But you ain't doing that, bud.
Yeah. Okay,
All right. I think we did something.
we did. Thanks for listening,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.